Hey guys, so this will be a quick video of me able to find breakouts, and we're going over the ones that worked out and the ones that didn't work out. Like, I think it was Coin didn't really work out as planned, and Ulta. Ulta is mostly a long term for puts, but mostly we're gonna look at is Norwegian Cruise Line, we're gonna look at DocuSign, and we're gonna look at Airbnb because those were the ones that like got near over 100%. So first, SoFi was sort of interesting. I sold SoFi on Wednesday, but we'll start with Norwegian Cruise Line because Norwegian Cruise Line it blew up. It blew up to like 1,000% if you guys were still holding on to it. So first off, I'll try and make this simple as possible. So you guys already have my setup of the indicators. So next step is trying to use them. So the first thing is I always stick with the hour because the hour is sort of like a big indication of price movement. So the first thing I always try to look for is the BR because normally like the BR is sort of like a big indication of there's gonna be heavy price movement most of the time. So first I see that. Uh, Next is I look at the orange and the red lines because those are indication of resistance and support. So first, I have a BR here, that green one of a breakout. I like to make a yellow line, so pretty much indicating as long as it's above this yellow line, that means it's on its uptrend. Pretty simple on that. Next is try and find the breakout. So right now, if I look right here, we see a little pop up right here. I'll make a little green vertical line right there. So we had a little pop up right here near the green line, but end up having a slight downtrend. But we will like to make a trend line starting here. So that'll be the first trend line I want to make because the reason why I consider this as a resistance right now, because you can see how that red line crosses that orange. That's indicating like a resistance right away. So once we have that resistance, we just carry on. So now we just wait until it breaks above this. But we can always revisit because there's another indication right here. We will try and draw, if we're going to get a circle going on. Okay, so there's that right there. So there's an intersection right there, and that was the other intersection. And we can look at these two because those are indicating a support right here on this intersection right there. So that indicates the support. But the fact that we know it's an uptrend because it's above this yellow line, so we're mainly looking at breakout for an uptrend. So we do have this intersection right here that indicates a breakout point right there if it breaks above that price line. So now, right here, that is our indicated breakout point right here. So once that price breaks above this black, let's remove that because we have a nice green line indicating a heavy support, which is sort of nice. So right here is what we're focusing on right now. So after we have confirmation that it broke above this black line, I would go to the 15-minute because the 15-minute sort of covers to make sure it's not a bull trap. So on the 15-minute, I'll be looking at right here. So we can ignore these because that was for the hour. Next, I'll be looking at the orange line when it crosses that black line. That is my main new focus. So we'll get rid of this. This is my main new focus right now. So right when that orange line crosses that black line, because a lot of times in the morning it'll pop up and we'll anticipate it broke out because it broke out above this trend line. So we'll see a heavy continuation. But then it'll start falling down and we got in at a bad price. So once I see this, once it breaks above this black line, that's when I go to the 15-minute. I look at for an orange and the black intersection that's happening right here. Let's make a circle. So it's right there. That's what I'm looking for. See how the black and the orange are intersecting right here. So, and that sort of lines up right here, right above that little pop-up. So I'll make this line orange for the 15-minute. So next is I'm pretty much waiting for the price to break above this orange line. So once it breaks above that orange line, that's when I know it's going to be a breakout. And generally from this point, when I buy into it right here, once it breaks above, and it's above this black line, it's above the yellow, that'll be normally it's a 3-day hold, but I always do it 2 weeks just in case, just to be on the safe side. And once it breaks below the orange line, that'll be like our stop loss. Or we could just average down, depending how the market goes. And then we have this huge exponential uptrend. So next, we'll be looking at is which one that didn't work, which was coin. I wanted to do puts on coin. So we're going to use like the same premise for coin. I believe it was this date right here on this green line where I want to do a put on it. So let's see. The thing is, a lot of times I look for this red line crossing this black line. I expected like a downtrend, which it did, but it didn't fall as much as I wanted to. Let's see here. So we'll go the hour. Hour doesn't really give us that much information right now. I think I will look at, I think it was the RSI. So just give me 1 sec. I need to line that up a bit so we have more information. So at first, for puts, I generally look for this red right here. That's crossing the purple. That's normally an early indication of a put. Right here for the hour. So right here where it lines up, which was true, but it ended up being a lot shorter than normal and end up going to the price I wanted, but I didn't really sell it on time. End up being like a day trade. So first, right here, that would be the support, which it was. It broke below it and it fell down. But I thought it would be a heavier downtrend. So just following the same system, we know that this guy broke its trend line. I used the 15-minute, and the 15-minute is support line is right here for the orange. And the way I found that one is because I'm pretty much waiting for this green line. Yeah, we sort of have to ignore some other colors, but so this green line is the one I'm focusing on right now. So you see how it crossed that black line right there. That's sort of my main go-to for a put. So it lines up. That's the support for the 15-minute. And normally I would expect a heavier downtrend, but I end up finding support. So the only way to predict those supports, you have to look at the 2-hour and the 4-hour because those are heavy supports, and that's one thing I forgot to look into. So for the 4-hour, it doesn't give us any information, sadly. All it tells us is it's on a heavy uptrend. This red line hasn't really crossed anything. I really don't care about this green line. Normally when the green line crosses the black, it always tries to touch the red line, which is the 20-day moving average. It got close, but no, I expected it to hit. So that's the reason why I didn't want to do a put, but it didn't happen. So the fact that we have no information on the 4 hour, we have to lean over to the 2 hour. So the 2 hour, we have this red crossing that purple right there, and that indicated a support for Coinbase. So now, once that interaction happened, and we'll make this purple for the 2 hour. So the 2 hour is purple, the orange is the 15-minute. So now we have that 15-minute, and this 15-minute still plays in. So the fact that it landed and had a 2 hour support and a revisit and broke above the 15-minute, and that's when you'll know there'll be a reversal and probably be like a 2-day hold. Then it'll be choppy, which end up happening right here. Next is I want to look at is DocuSign. DocuSign, it was on the watch list and it ended up doing really well. It was almost becoming like a swing trade. So we'll just go back to the basics. Is going back to the hour. So we have the BR right here indicating there might be heavy price movement going on pretty soon. So the first thing, let's see, I'm trying to figure out when we first announced it. I think it was right here near on Tuesday, I believe. On Tuesday, I had price action, which is BR. So as long as it's above this yellow line, that means it's gonna have an uptrend. And a lot of times when you move your charts in and out, the lines become skewed all the time. So every time you move your charts, I always reset it, and that so you get like actual data correct, and everything's all lined up. So the thing is, you see how this red line, it's hard to see because the black lines are in the way. So once you see that, that means that's a huge support for the hour. So, but then once it crosses out of it, it also indicating a resistance at the same time. So it both has a support and a resistance. So it's going either or at that point. I think at some point I knew it was gonna be uptrend, and also we had like a nice support that was indicating for like a call. And also where it stopped up here, we have to use the 2 hour to indicate where the stop is. And so for the 4 hour, we have this nice green line. That's what helps us. Sometimes it helps us to know where the resistance is for DocuSign, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it appears, sometimes it doesn't. Because it's not perfect, not 100% accurate all the time. But yeah, that ended up being a swing trade. Also, it was earnings too, which skewed the data, which then didn't help. So imagine if earnings wasn't there, and most likely I would expect it to touch right here around the 49.84. But the next one I want to look at because I forgot to post it yesterday, but it ended up being near 70%, which was Airbnb. Airbnb, I already drew the lines, so let's remove it and let's go back to the hour. So I always go back to the hour. Right here, we have a price action right here, which is yellow. BR. We have these other BRs too because they show signs of significance, but they're not the true resistance and support. That's the thing. They're just indicating there might be heavy price movement pretty soon. That's all it is. And the main go-to is looking at how this orange line and this red line right here, I'll make a circle right there. That is your breakout price, which sort of nice for this green line, for this BR that we have, gives us a slight reassurance that that is a breakout too. So we have a nice reassurance that it's a breakout right here. So yeah, see how it lines up perfectly. We'll make a vertical line. So right here, that's when that red crosses that orange, and it lines up with this BR, which is sort of nice. So that's when we want to do calls on Airbnb. So most of the time, but even though it broke out, I always have to use the 15-minute to verify it. So next for the 15-minute, so remember after we have verification on the breakout for the hour, we have to switch to the 15-minute because that sort of helps us to find a good price for it and make sure they're not bear traps either. And most of the time it could be like a 2-week hold, and those are easy. So make sure always extend your contracts to next week. I tend to get greedy. I always try to do it within the same week, but it's best to do it out for 2 weeks and just average down. And we can average down just based on where this 15-minute resistance is. So the 15-minute resistance is, I'll make it yellow, orange. So we'll get rid of this guy right here. That's because all we care about is this black trend line. So right here is the breakout, which sort of almost aligns with the black trend line, which is perfect. If they're in unison, that means it's a heavy breakout for sure. And that's when pretty much we do our calls. So we can retest this. So if we just go back and re-simulate it. So right now we have Airbnb and we'll just let play out. Just let play out. So right now I have we're at the 2 hour. So we need to go back to the 1 hour. So let's remove all our lines. Imagine everything is all brand new. So first, we have this cross right here. I always reset on my charts. So on the hour, we see how this red crosses that orange right there. That's indicating a support for the hour. It's a support for the hour. We have this BR right here, and that BR indicating that there might be heavy price action. Just because it's red doesn't mean it's going to have a heavy downtrend. So we'll make that yellow because yellow is for the hour. And pretty much we're just seeing how everything goes. We have a black support line right here, along with that green. So we notice how it. Oh, so we know how right here we think it would be puts, just based on how it broke below the black trend line and it's below the yellow. But we need reinsurance from the 15-minute. In the 15-minute, I would probably look for the green line crossing the black line, which it didn't. So that gives us verification that it could be a fake put. So we have to wait still. So we'll just have to wait. So next, we're waiting. We have an intersection that happens right here where the trend line is breaking out right here. So we have to make a new trend line because we're back on the hour because the 15-minute didn't give us any information. So we have to go back to the hour. So going back to the hour, we have a breakout right there because right when that red crossed that orange lines up. So now we have confirmation and we have a BR too, which helps. So we can move our BR line right here. And we can leave the other one for the red, just a future indication of to do puts. But right now we're mainly focused on this one. So we'll get rid of that. We'll go to the 15-minute. So right now we need to make sure this is not a bull trap. So in order to verify it, because we're back in the 15-minute, we have to look at this indication right here for this orange crossing that black. So now I'll get rid of this one because we don't care about that one. We're focused on the 15-minute now because it already broke above the black trend line and the yellow, and we have an intersection right here. So if that orange line was green instead of orange, that would be like a put. So I'd probably do put if that was green. But we have an orange one. So that means pretty much low amount of people are selling. And right on that line, it's also will make that orange. That's also a resistance. So so if it covers all three, that's when I would do calls. That's when I'll probably do 2 weeks. And at that time, I'll just let it ride. And if it falls at all, I'll try to buy it near the orange as much as possible. And we also have BRs on the, and there we go. And we have like a breakout. So I'll keep it there for now. I'll try to update videos every day if I can. But as of right now, this is just the first step. I'm just showing you guys which one was the most consistent, buying breakouts and puts. The other ones were just me being impatient, slightly greedy, but overall, this has been the most consistent out of everything. So try to follow this if you can. If you guys still need to figure out how to set up the chart and indication, just let me know. Just send me a message, like a private message, and I'll send you a video step by step how to set up the indications. But I think you need the pro version because uh to set up everything. Because a lot of the I made some alterations to the one that I have, which compacts it a lot better. But you can also get all the same indications too, because I just copy and paste the code most of it and tried to run it through other simulations. But other than that, this is just like a short video of what breakouts work, what to look for, and also understanding what are the resistance and support. Because I forgot to go over the 2 hour too, because when the breakout happened, and we have the same resistance where the hour is and the 15-minute. So they all indicate a breakout. We go to the 4 hour. The 4 hour, see how this red crossed that. If we're looking at just the 4 hour, we're just looking at this red where the purple cross, and right there would be our support for the 4 hour. In the 4 hour, it fluctuates a lot. So once it touches the 4 hour, it does indicate a support. So hence why it bounced right on it and just jumped right up. And so looking at the 4 hour, Airbnb is about to hit its resistance right here. So it could go up another $2 next week, maybe. But as of right now, I probably sold it by now. And that's it. Like I said, I'll try to do daily videos if I can. I'm just trying to figure out my schedule and be able to record and send it out because a lot of it's still testing. But the one thing that's been the most consistent has been this setup. So yeah. So I hope you guys have a good weekend. Um, that's it for now. And next week, I will probably send out more videos if I can. That's pretty much it. All right. See ya.